Welcome back. I am so glad that you joined us for this episode. If you've been following along for the last few weeks, we just completed I think it was a three-part series all about emotional reactivity, really understanding what happens for us, particularly as women, when we get stuck in what I call the narrative of the emotionally reactive girl, the emotionally reactive little girl. And so we explored sort of some of the actions, some of the behaviors, some of the choices that we can make when we are stuck in emotional reactivity. And so we wrapped up that series last week. We got incredible feedback on it. So if you haven't listened, go back. It's one that you definitely do not want to miss. This week, what we are going to be focusing on is the emotionally intelligent woman, and particularly who is the emotionally intelligent woman? What are some of the characteristics? What are some of the skills that she has dialed in? How does she show up to her life? How does she show up in her relationships? How does she show up to her mission? So, these are some of the concepts we're going to be looking at today. And if you're not aware, this is all in preparation for my book launch. My book is going to be available everywhere books are sold online on February 7th. 2 days later, on February 9th, we are hosting an exclusive launch party and masterclass all about the emotionally intelligent woman. And so this week's episode is a bit of a teaser to all the goodness that I'm going to be sharing in just about a week or so. So, if this episode interests you, you're probably going to want to register for our book launch party. It'll all be linked up in the show notes below, so that you can just get more of this goodness, more of the goodness of the emotionally intelligent woman. So let's dive right into today's episode and today's teaching. So, who is the emotionally intelligent woman? I'm going to suggest that there are three main pillars of success that she lives by. One of the questions I'm really going to be looking at more deeply in the masterclass that is coming up on February 9th is, the emotionally intelligent woman, how does she live, love, and lead with unwavering confidence? And today, in today's episode, what I really want to share with you are the three pillars of success that she uses to really amplify the way that she shows up in her life, in her relationships, and in her career. The first thing, the emotionally intelligent woman has mastery of her emotions. So she knows what she needs to do in order to feel calm and confident, regardless of external circumstances. So, what do I mean by that? So here's the thing that's really important to understand, and I really want you to get this. And if you don't have a notebook yet and you don't have a pen, you're not taking notes, now's the time to go and grab all of that stuff. You can pause this audio or this video and come back, but I want to make sure you're taking notes throughout this particular episode. So here's the thing is life is happening all the time around us, right? There's a lot outside of ourselves. There are a lot of external circumstances that we are not in control of, right? That we don't necessarily have a say in, that we don't get to choose, that other people are responsible for. Right. So the weather could be a decision that somebody makes inside of your business. It could be a decision that somebody makes inside of your home. It could be how somebody responds to a request that you have made. These are all what I would call external circumstances. So these are circumstances that happen that are outside of yourself. They're outside of yourself. And because they're outside of yourself, they can also be outside of your control at times, right? These circumstances can be outside of your control. So the emotionally intelligent woman has made this decision. She's made a commitment, and she also has the skills. She knows exactly how to feel calm and to feel confident regardless of external circumstances. And I would say this is the foundation of her emotional intelligence. This is Man, this is the pillar that she rests on, right? Is practicing the skills that allow her to continuously feel calm and to continuously feel confident, competent, empowered, regardless of what's happening around her, regardless of the choices that other people are making, regardless of decisions that might be being made at a global level or at an organizational level. She determines, she chooses that she will feel calm and confident regardless, and she knows how to do it. Okay. Now, again, I go much deeper into all of this teaching inside of the book. I'll go deeper into this teaching inside of the masterclass, but there's a couple of things I want to highlight here in terms of some of the skills that she uses in order to have mastery of her emotions. The first thing she does is she takes very clear, consistent, and intentional action on what she can control. So the emotionally intelligent woman is consistently assessing her environment. She's consistently assessing the situation. She's consistently assessing even her relationships. And she's identifying in every single one of those contexts, what is it that she can control? She's always identifying what is it that is within my control? What is it that I can change? What is it that I actually have some level of empowerment in? And once she determines what she can control, she moves into action. The emotionally intelligent woman is an action taker. Sometimes that action is rest. Sometimes that action is a pause. Sometimes that action is actually looks like action and she's actively taking steps towards her goals. But either way, she is not a passive participant in her life. So once she determines what she can control, she takes action on what she can control. And this is where she spends a lot of her energy. This is where she spends a lot of her time. This is where she spends a lot of her resources in actioning the things that she can control. The second piece to her ability to master her emotions is that she moves towards acceptance of what she can't control. So the emotionally intelligent woman is very clear in her mind on those things that are outside of her realm of control. So these could be things like other people's thoughts, other people's feelings, other people's actions, behaviors, and choices. She knows, she has the emotional intelligence to know and understand that these are the things that are outside of her control. And so she is consistently, moment by moment, moving towards acceptance of those things that she can't control. So, for example, she would make a commitment to herself that she's not going to ruminate on the things that she doesn't like. She's not going to vent to others because that is a waste of her energy. And she's going to stop wishing and hoping that things were going to be different. So she takes two stances. She's either moving towards acceptance of things she can't control or she's actioning the things that she can control. This is how she amplifies her success by mastering her emotions. The second thing, the second pillar of success that the emotionally intelligent woman accesses is her ability to communicate without fear. Now, I need to give you a caveat here when I talk about fearless communication. You have probably heard me use this term, fearless communication. There's a whole section inside the book all on fearless communication. So, what I don't mean by fearless communication is I don't mean that it's not difficult to have certain conversations. I don't mean that you're not going to feel nervous when you have certain conversations. You might even feel some fear when you're thinking about having a difficult conversation. What I do mean when I say fearless is that you no longer allow fear to dictate which conversations you have and which conversations you don't. You no longer dance with fear. So, the emotionally intelligent woman has the ability to communicate with fear because she is no longer allowing fear to lead her. She's no longer allowing fear to dictate her choices. She's no longer allowing fear to make those decisions for her. She knows that what she needs to do in order to enter into difficult conversations, she asks for what she needs and she negotiates her boundaries regardless of the outcome. Here's the thing that happens when we are stuck in fear. When we are stuck in fear, our mind pushes us to the what ifs and the possible outcomes, and we become fixated on those pieces. And when we become fixated on the outcome, we're no longer showing up to conversations with courage, with power, and with integrity. So the emotionally intelligent woman has practiced, she has dialed in the ability to communicate fearlessly. And the final pillar of success that the emotionally intelligent woman uses to really amplify her impact in her own life and in the world is that she leads herself and others with confidence. She leads herself first and then she leads others with confidence. So let's look at that in a little bit more detail. So, number one, when I look at the piece around leading with confidence, that for me is a huge amplifier of success for the emotionally intelligent woman. She understands that her primary role in life, her primary role in all of her relationships, her primary role in her business or in her career is to lead herself. That is the single most important thing that she does every single day. She leads herself. And she takes this responsibility very seriously. She understands that unless and until she takes radical responsibility for herself, all parts of herself, her moods, her thoughts, her actions, her behaviors, her choices, until she takes full and complete and radical responsibility for herself, she will be unable to lead others. She understands this. She knows this at her core. So she takes that on as her primary role is to lead herself. And from this place of self leadership, this is a huge concept for the emotionally intelligent woman. From a place of self leadership, she then leads others with unwavering confidence. We're going to go deep on this topic at the masterclass that's coming up on February 8th. So you're not going to want to miss that. But let me say this: unwavering confidence comes from the ability to trust ourselves. I was actually just talking about this concept with the women inside of one of my coaching programs, the EQ Code Leadership Lab. We were talking about the fact that real confidence comes from an ability to trust ourselves. Confidence is not about life is going to go my way, or people are going to give me what I want, or my partner's always going to listen to me, or my team is going to meet all of my expectations. That's not what unwavering confidence is. Because the truth is, we can't control all of those external circumstances. Unwavering confidence comes from trusting ourselves. How do we trust ourselves, ladies? We trust ourselves by making a commitment to self-leadership. We trust ourselves by being willing to and committed to the deep work of leading ourselves every single day. That, for me, this is the crux. This is the beauty. This is the essence. This is the power of the emotionally intelligent woman, is that she is 100% committed to self-leadership. She understands that's where her power is. That is where her beauty is. That is where she rises, right? That is where she amplifies her success, both personally and professionally, when she is committed to doing the deeper work, the inner work of self-leadership. And when she consistently shows up for herself to lead herself through emotional mastery, through fearless communication, through elevated relationship skills, as she does all of these pieces, she's then able to lead with unwavering confidence. I am so excited to share this work with you. I cannot wait for the release of this book. If you are listening to this episode or watching this episode on YouTube, when it is released, I think this episode gets released February 1st. If you are watching it on the day or in and around the time that it gets released, we are launching. The book will be available February 7th. Our masterclass is February 9th. We're going to link all of that up for you. You are not going to want to miss that event. We are going to go deep on who the emotionally intelligent woman is. I am going to teach you how it is that she lives, loves, and leads with unwavering confidence. Can't wait to see you there.